I leave it to you if you wanted to have this conversation before Sajar had his conversation with Delvit, or it could be in the middle, at the same time as it. It's up to you. Because you guys have a lot of wiggle room, chronologically speaking.
Well, I was gonna get Voss America, and it sounded like they were kind of in that room as well.
Okay, so this probably happened before or after then.
I'm gonna say before. Also, because after their minds might be elsewhere.
Good point.
And they didn't have like a ton of input on the previous scene, so it's like, okay. Yeah. Do I want to get Kasai? I'm gonna do a D2. If it's green, it's go. It's red. Okay, don't get Kasai.
Where do you go? Go into room? Go outside?
I'm not sure. Not okay. Not super publicly accessible.
Okay, so not the main room.
Yeah, not at the main room.
Not the living room. Gotcha.
Not the living room. Probably not bedrooms. Honestly, like if
go to
there's
the
like
den.
there's a den. Is there like a small courtyard that?
No.
Maybe not really.
No. That's Wednesday house. Sorry. Save it for the Grafolians.
She'll go with the den in that case.
I said gym, not den.
Gym. Gym would be weirdly fitting. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, let's go with the gym. Sure, fuck it. She's like, I don't know where exactly to go. I need to talk to her somewhere. Fucking.
It's adjacent to the living room. This was the same point, like right next to the place where we talked to Dolus. So
yeah. As well as people aren't gonna come here at midnight, probably, or not at midnight, but this will be like 10 or something. Late. Nobody's gonna come here.
Yeah, around that 10. So yeah, so you pull them aside and. They don't really question why. It's quite clear that they're curious as to why, but they don't ask. So you pulled Marika, Vaso,
and not Kasai. She's gonna bring Kasai. Actually, I changed my mind.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Kasai because emotional support friend kind of thing. They've already had like at least one deep conversation. She could be involved with a different one. Let's see. Does she want to explain to them what happened beforehand? Probably. Yeah. At least keep it brief. Yeah. Once they're in there, she takes kind of a sealing breath for herself. It's like, okay. So, I went with Alessandra to Lourdes. Lourdes not came across. She went well out of her way to discover information about where I came from. Not the cradle, but before that, the
Vaso whistles.
Right, like
you had a Lourdes do that for you? Damn.
I thought she would have contacts, and I was correct. She had a lot.
Oh yeah, no, you're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
Which house was it?
Lourdes Swaron. What was the house names? Was it Swaron? No, it was Swaron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lourdes of House Swaron.
Lourdes Swaron. Vaso rules history.
Come on, Vaso. You already failed one of these noble checks earlier. That's good.
Swaron. Oh. Old house. Not surprised she has a lot of connections.
I'll trust on that one.
Vaso just sits down at the place where you basically do bench presses.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you got a good bit of information about where you're from then.
Yes, actually. She starts digging out like the different copies of the notes, and if
God.
there's like a table-like thing that she could set them out there.
Yeah, it was like a bench, or not a bench, a rack, a planner's rack area, so like a horseshoe-shaped place.
There you go. I don't know if she would keep the map on her, because I know our group has a map. She has a bag of holding, so it's like she might have the map, she might not have the map. She probably, if she has access to the map, have the map out and like kind of.
It's irrelevant. You narratively will have access to it, so we don't need to worry too much on it.
Yeah, she'd point out on the map like where they're referencing when people are going through the thing and being like, oh, the village is here. Oh, they traveled this direction. Da, 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 da.
Maricopian's like paging through it. It's quite clear she's not reading it.
Yeah.
But she's just sort of trying to get a sense of how detailed the accounts are. Oh, the gods. Huh.
Given this, the people they interviewed were exceptionally efficient at keeping track of what they were doing. They're very good.
Who are these from?
Garth, I don't remember the name. I think it was Crimson Dune? Yes, Crimson Dune. Crimson Dune members. Branch in the exchange that handles monster hunting.
Whack.
Womp womp womp. Yes, apparently they ended up finding me in the remnants of a destroyed town. Well, at the gate of a destroyed town, which was unbelievably sketchy, and I'm genuinely surprised that they decided to take me, but that's beside the point, I suppose. Or is the point.
You see Scavola up here, and she's like sat upon this is a more higher vaulted room, this place, because there's like a lot more punching and climbing equipment in here. I'm not saying like it's a fucking climbing wall, like a 3-story climbing wall, but there's definitely some stuff here. And she sat upon like basically a pull-up bar. Like leaned over, or like fucking Astrid from Skyrim, the Dark Brotherhood lady. Sort of like that.
Up there.
Yeah. She doesn't say anything, she disappears.
She looks at Scabola and looks at the rest of them to see if they notice her.
No one.
No one.
To be fair, she's like behind everyone, so.
Right. I don't think Kasai doesn't need to see the pages again. She already saw them. She just tapped Kasai on like the forearm or something, just gesture up at Scabola. It's like, do you see her?
No.
You're kind of talk of the hour. You could make yourself known.
Why would I want to do that?
So I don't have to have a back and forth conversation while explaining to them what the conversation's happening?
She rolls her eyes. You petulant child. She reveals herself to everyone. Fine. I remember this though.
I figured. It is.
Voss is like reading through the testimonies. Very. How to say? He's in his favorite terrain as he's reading through this.
I thought you were.
And he just doesn't even look at her. Where like she's like, I'll remember this, and he's like, well, won't you remember? Just as like a backhanded compliment? Question mark.
Sure.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. She has a memory of an elephant, or so she says.
Not Night Squire. Not anymore.
Take a surprising amount of pride in that sentence.
No, I mean not anymore, as in I flunked out.
Ah.
How does one flunk out of squireship? That's fucking pathetic. Yeah. No, I genuinely am curious. How do you flunk out? Does your knight fail you or something? Do they kick you to the road? Do they pants you? They did kick me to the road, but no, they didn't pants me. She just looks at you, Oriana, like, bro, he's fucking pathetic. Like, bro.
People get down on the luck. I mean, he beat me in a fight at the very least, so he's not worthless.
Oh, God's above your right. Oh, no.
Hey, no, that just means he's good. That doesn't mean I'm bad.
Au contraire, girl. Au contraire. But let's keep going before I have an aneurysm in your head.
What would that even mean? I don't need to question that.
Anyways. Continue your story to America and Vasco.
Alright. Okay. So, the group is traveling, they're hunting a monster through the exchange, come into the Twins. They find my village. From the looks of it, I'm the only remnants of person there. No corpses, no nothing, not a people screaming, no nothing, just me. And because it's super suspicious, they do some light tests, discover there's nothing particularly odd about me, which looked at Skabal. I don't think that's true in the slightest. considering everything.
She quirks an eyebrow.
What
What makes you think I would know?
I don't know what you don't know. It's like, I don't know if you guys like attacked that village, if it was planned, if there was happenstance.
You guys? What do you mean?
You, the Scholasta, the fucking Tertiana at this point. I don't know if she's involved.
Oh, that would be absolutely hilarious. That would actually be such poetic irony.
How would it be a poetic irony?
Keep going, girl.
So, they find me there, take me to the cradle, leave me there. Nothing much seems to happen at the cradle, and then Scavola shows up and takes me off to Silphal. From the other accounts, they seem to have some back and forth on what could have happened there. There's no real solid evidence one way or the other. There's notes of some arcane capabilities. Fire, destruction. She's kind of getting like lost in her own thoughts and just like trying to piece things together.
Vaso begins remarking, sort of like continuing where you're drifting off and thought, fire, lightning marks, burn marks, scorch marks, arcane damage. Almost like a reckoning of the divine. He has gone through these testimonies immensely fast.
Right.
Compared to America, who's been like paging through them just sort of idly, well, not idly, but like getting a general go. So he's actually been reading them, and he's already caught up to that part in the story.
Studies the hell out of things, apparently.
It's quite clear he's like, there's no. Okay, if you want to think negatively of Vaso, there's no way he's reading all of this. There's no fucking way. But he's definitely able to keep up with the pacing of the story.
They're quite quick at that.
You get used to reading these things.
Fair enough.
He's right on the next page as he finishes saying that.
To go along with that, later on there was another one of their group that traveled through the same area, different path, different hunts. Irrelevant. Years later. Hey, did it say on the folder how long later that was?
So from the point of the previous reports?
Yes. From when they found Oriana to the next time someone went through there and discovered it's a quarry.
19 years?
So the majority of her life.
Yeah, again, as I said, they don't normally go into the twins ever. So.
Yeah. It's a scarcity. There's the words. Right, another group traveled through. Traveling to Northrend? Northrend. Came across it, and it was sunken in, collapsed into the earth, as if nothing had been there in the first place.
Maybe a giant fell on it. Scavalli goes, ha!
No. It was clearly meant to hide any evidence of its existence. It looks natural, but it's too alien to this area.
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception, I think it's a 16. 17 now, because our thing went up.
Okay, if that's the case, then roll me your insight.
I could roll one of them there insights. By the way, would we have gotten a short rest in this time? Why am I turning as Alessander?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so that's...
Ah!
Not on your best day, bud.
And I don't even need to roll good, and also you're correct.
Turning into
I'm
rootin'
gonna
and
take my
tootin'.
inspiration. I don't know what your role is, but I feel like I'm
You ain't in the room!
Inspiration?
Yeah, you went for a walk.
Oh, your normal inspiration, okay.
Yeah, no, my normal inspiration. I don't know what he got because I'm away from my computer, but
I got like a 30, so I think I'm fine. Thank you, though. It's very nice of you.
oh, okay.
When it comes to insight, normally Oriana's probably fine.
Now you jinxed it.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that out loud.
Roll, just like all the modifiers in the world, don't fix in that one.
Yeah. Anyways.
At Scavallo going, ha! Vaso stops reading for a sec. He doesn't turn his head. His eyes sort of shift like up towards you, and then like suddenly towards America, and she is like she's sort of been paging idly through these books, or not books, testimonies, and then she even stops at that and gets this sort of intrigued look on her face, but she doesn't say anything. She does eventually turn like sort of at the side eyes where Scovola is, but she never says anything. But it definitely caught both of them off guard. Not the fact that she's just laughing at other people, but there's just something that's throwing them off. America can tell you about it later. At a nat fucking 20.
Not 20, she knows.
Nat 20 plus 10. God's sake. She's empathic. Better and worse. So the police got sunken in. Not a Giants.
I don't know if the method of it being sunken in is entirely important here. Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
Do you have an idea what actually caused it to sink?
Just looks at Scabola. The whole thing is
your ire at me won't get me to tell you the answers. I hope you realize.
I'm trying not to get emotional about the whole thing, but there's a lot to.
And I'm sorry, who was it that told you learning anything about your hometown would be painful?
I knew it was gonna be painful. This is just.
Then don't be giving me that look, girl. I gave you fair warning ahead of time.
Okay, fair. I believe it would be Silass. She, at the very least, Scabola seemed to know what it was ahead of time, as she has confirmed there. Well, semi-confirmed. So
Sometimes is what you don't say.
yeah. If it's not her or the Scholastica, then it's she has an idea, or at least experience with the place. There was some strange crystals.
Crystals.
What were they
Alright.
called? Heart dredge? Heart dredge? I think that's what the word.
Dregs.
Dreg.
Thank you. It's close.
Dredge is that boat game.
Gotta go sailing with Oriana. Dreg. There we go. These crystals, heart dregs. They're a type of crystal that forms supernaturally in a strange way. They manifest in people's hearts once they are dead and buried. And I
Hot
also
dregs.
recognize the. What was it?
Hot dregs.
Dregs.
You're certain.
I'm exceptionally confident in their capability to analyze things, yes. There was an
Sanguine
alien
Galars.
amount in the area. What is that?
Sanguine Galars.
I believe that's what it said specifically, yes. I think Alessandro might have mentioned it.
Sanguine Galars. It's quite cool America is versed in it.
Hmm.
To the point where Vaso even asked, how do you know that? Back, she stops. In my youth, there are places that bought that. People that bought it. What they want with it. A number of different things, some of which were superstitious, others which were actual alchemy.
And regardless of use, they're exceedingly rare because they're, I would say, difficult to reproduce, to say the least.
Well, that's actually something interesting. They're naturally occurring things, but they only occur in certain, waves and locations.
Right.
So, for example, burying someone on an island has never produced Sanguine Galars. Not that I know. And I'm sure you would know. I would. So what? It's a inland thing? No, it happens on the coast as well, as from what I've heard, but... She looks at you, I don't know. I'm not a miner or a researcher of
Geologist.
minerals. Exactly.
Hmm.
But there is value and power behind them, more than their peculiar nature and appearance.
Alright.
What uses do they have? Again, I can't speak towards it. I've heard some people crush it up and use it as aphrodisiac. I feel like that's everything.
Does it work? Or...
Get out of here!
Alexander opens the door and is like, hey.
Yo? Or I just kind of like looks at her hand and is just like, oh wow, we could sell my blood on the black market potentially.
Anything?
The overlap of the excessive amounts of the crystals being in that area, as well as Skabola's specific method of controlling her class. That's a good way to put it. It's odd.
Wait, hold
to
on.
say the least.
Wait.
Eh.
He looks up from. He's finishing the last manual or the last testimony.
God,
You guys, you just gotta know what to look for.
Mm.
So you said these things grow, they happen, they occur. He gestures between you and America
nods.
from bodies, corpses, and stuff like that, right?
Uh huh.
And all right, I'm gonna be like Zol for a second. Are you fucking dead? I'm
All the
sorry.
things that I've been thinking of, I didn't actually think of that one.
How did you arrive at that conclusion? Well, you said it occurs
And dead
in
people.
corpses,
Yeah.
and you said that it's in you. So your
It's just
logic
running
is
through my
that
veins.
Oriana is a walking corpse, and it's constantly appearing on a daily basis. Okay, when you say the daily basis part, I feel a little bit more shaky on it, but yes.
I mean, considering Skavola's like ancient, that daily basis might actually be a thing
You-
you can manage.
America immediately shakes her head. You're not dead, Oriana. Allow me to dissuade you from that immediately. You're not dead. I can feel your pulse. I've healed you a number of times, and I'm pretty sure the amount of divinity we've encountered so far will have annihilated you by now. Oh yeah. Vasa's like, oh yeah, we did go on that
Yeah.
lunar elevator, and then just yeah. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, we went a little too deep on the Zal mindset there for a second.
Gibble is just chuckling to herself on the background, like, oh my fucking god, you almost got tricked into thinking you were dead.
I mean, to be fair, like, I went to the cradle the second time because I was
Uh.
melting my lungs, so... Just kind of
If you were undead, you wouldn't have had any concern for such. About problems breathing and things like that. That is very funny, though. Once again, Vasa looks at America, but doesn't say anything. Anyways. So, how does it occur in you naturally, then? Perhaps you're some sort of mutation, or an experimented splintering. So, it stops being preternaturally occurring and naturally occurring.
Oh, Garth had a fun thought. Garth is remembering back to the hanging tree in the first campaign and how they had a lot of red crystal things going on. It's like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a
That's
weird
an
level
interesting-
of overlap.
yeah. Get the fucking dust. Get the white stuff off your pinky, dude. Come on.
That's
we need that to go make fucking cakes later, right? Get it off.
yeah. Oriana has a reference for that, so she's not going to reference that in the slightest.
Well, roll me, okay, this might be a bit hard. Roll me backward at disadvantage.
I can roll one of those with.
Actually, no, roll straight, because you have advantage and disadvantage, so they cancel out.
I don't get guidance because background. Where's background? Background. Normal. Don't suck. 21's about as good as you could get there.
You heard a story like that. Because they're you knew Tala and all of them, right? Marshall Militides and all that stuff. Like that was their.
Yeah,
You probably don't have like.
point,
You probably don't have like the exact story. These things don't
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
get translated and transcribed from person to person cleanly. Chinese
Yeah.
whisper style, right? But
And
you
then
probably
they've,
have
said
heard.
to be more grandiose than before, kind of thing, like a classic books.
Yeah. Yeah, so you probably have heard of that sort of stuff before.
Also in the twins.
Also in the twins.
Kind of. I imagine that was like. Yeah, there was that one story with Marshall's group about them coming across a what was it? A giant tree? Giant tree. Yeah, and they had a bunch of crystals down there as well.
Who's Marshall?
Marshall Militides Marshall.
He blinked a couple of times.
She looks at him. Disappointment grows on her face. Please tell me at least one of you in this room knows who that is. Squall doesn't count. She definitely knows who that is.
She shrugs, like, I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Yeah, that sounds. That's
It's
the point.
100% there's no chance. America,
No.
50-50, but it's clearly she's on the wrong 50.
Oh my god! How do none of you know? He's like one of the greatest combatants in history, at least that I know of. At least of this age.
sorry. Just like,
I just don't understand how isn't it just beside the point, I guess. She's somehow more flustered at that than anything else that she's been saying. Running it back, they had a similar village in the Twins. I don't know exactly where it had the similar crystalline effect going on.
Arteria citrine is the name of it. Go.
Arteria citrine. Oh, gonna scroll that down in my notes real fast before I continue. Right, because artery. So citrine in my head immediately goes to citrus. What else could citrine?
Citrine is a variant of quartz.
Oh, so
Its name comes from the old French word for lemon. Citrus, one might say.
Citron.
Ah,
Citron.
funny.
weird.
Funny.
Huh.
Arteria citrine. Okay, so that definitely confirms something since you knew that off the top of her head. I thought I knew everything, Squire. I respect her. I respect her moxie, but she's a raging bitch.
She's heard that so many times.
Well, she could hear it one more. Ha! He stops and looks at America again. Okay. What the hell is wrong with her?
I was questioning the laugh as well. It's a bit odd.
What do you mean?
It
She disappears and reapparates right next to you. What do you mean?
Like, in front of her or next to her?
In front of you, like up in your face.
Sup? You're jovial? Like, there's times we would scoff at, like, someone saying something dumb, or just beat the lesson into them if they're really, really off. But you're guffawing. You don't guffaw.
She is like, wait, hold on a fucking second. Wait.
And you very...
She whips a finger. She whips a finger at Vaso. Turn around. What? I said turn around. He looks at you for confirmation. If you don't turn around, I'll make you. To Vaso's credit, he doesn't really flinch at that.
Yeah.
He just still looks to you for confirmation.
She does like a little like hand wave, like it's good, go for it.
All right. He reaches back and grabs one of the testimonies against his reading material while he's looking away. Dress down now. I'm sorry, you're asking her to do what? I'm not asking, I'm demanding. Do it now.
She'll start dressing down, and she will comment. It's just like, you're providing privacy. That's also odd.
You could see a glower growing on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone just fucking told you that like a D's nuts joke times infinity anger. Like someone combined a Sawcon, D's nuts, and Ligma joke all together. You got fucking bamboozled.
Oh god, they got the triple combo. They got a number.
And she begins walking, as you begin dressing down, she begins walking around you like a fashion designer or like a fucking tiger walking around prey. That bitch. Sai and America look at each other because whatever Scavola's saying, they're not saying.
Tertiana? I'm gonna guess Tertiana. She looks to America, Devin is like,
might I
Tertiana.
kindly take control of your body for about 3 hours?
No. And that's where that stops. What were you planning on doing?
I've been sabotaged. Ha! Vaso just remarks. Oh, that's fucking rich.
I love Vaso.
The saboteur
Oh,
gets sabotaged. Someone could make a book out of that.
Absolutely
I will
fantastic.
kill
Can I put
you.
Can I put my pants back on?
Fine, whatever. You can see her gritting, like you can see her. She wants to kill something right now. She doesn't want to hunt. She wants to kill. Hunting implies a chance of failure.
We can work out that anger later. can you please clarify to me a bit more what you're saying? I can take a guess, but I don't want to guess right now.
No. No, I won't. And that is that.
Is it because you have to admit that someone got the better of you?
No.
Just I'm getting inside check. It's like, that's a lie.
America wins. I check it. I'm gonna give her a grant. She got that nat 20 earlier. What?
Ooh.
That's oof ouchie right there.
I wish I could give her a Kensai die. I goddamn wish.
It's oof ouchie.
Do I have an inspiration, actually? I don't. Damn. Oh, well.
I don't know.
I don't. I used mine from earlier.
And then you took